prevention, and intervention for elementary schools.
Thank you. Hi guys. So like Demetria said, I'm presenting on cyberbullying, and before I start on cyberbullying, I just want to make sure that everybody understands actual traditional bullying. So can anybody tell me what traditional bullying consists of? Dr. Maurer.
Calling somebody names, judging them without really knowing them or knowing anything about them, just out of meanness.
Good. That's definitely one part of bullying. Does anybody know any other parts? Jackie?
Beating somebody up, using
Swirlies. Good. Dr. Hayward?
teasing.
Right. Good. Teasing. So all of those are different parts of traditional bullying. And Smakowski and Kopacz define bullying as a form of aggression in which one or more children intend to harm or disturb another child who is perceived as unable to defend themselves. And they break traditional bullying into 4 categories. And the first two you guys probably already know, physical and verbal. Those are the ones that you guys already had mentioned. Physical is anything that's action-oriented, kicking, punching, hitting. And then verbal is using your words instead of actions to hurt another person. And although verbal bullying doesn't necessarily leave marks on a person, it can be more detrimental to the victim than physical bullying. Relational bullies, that's typical with girls. It's kind of when, if I'm standing over here with a group of girls and we're saying, don't go hang out with Dr. Maurer, she's weird, or don't sit near her, she smells, something like that. It's where you're purposely trying to exclude other students from your group. And reactive bullies is just that they'll sit near someone or be near someone and they're tormenting them and they're just saying, you're awful, you're this, you're that, waiting to get a response from them. And once that person responds, whether they hit them or whatever they do, then the bully feels like, okay, well, it's fair game now. I can go beat up on them as much as I want, and I'm going to claim that it was self-defense. And in 2001, a study was done and reported that 17% of students were bullied weekly. So how many of you guys, based on this definition and this statistic, have had this happen to you at some point in your life, whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school, maybe sadly even college? But how many of you guys have been bullied in this way in here? Yeah, and I have too, which is why I chose this topic. That's why it's close to my heart, because I feel I'm still feeling the effects of it, and it makes me really self-conscious. And how did you guys feel when you were being bullied? You can just shout it out. Helpless. Scared. Angry. And those are typical, as well as loneliness, rejection, low self-esteem, poor mental health, not wanting to go to school. I know I felt that. I didn't want to see the people that were bullying me. I didn't want to be around them. I didn't want to think about them. So I was maybe sick more often than the traditional student. Cyberbullying is an up-and-coming phenomenon in the schools, at home. And since we're now in the age of technology, obviously bullying had to change to adapt to that. And cyberbullying is defined as willful and repeated harm inflicted through the use of computers, cell phones, and other electronic devices. When I was growing up, it was instant messenger on the computer, and that was one of the ways that I was bullied through the internet, was through instant messenger, because they can hide behind a computer screen. And now students can do that. They can hide behind a cell phone, and nobody has to know who they are, so they're free to say whatever they want and not suffer the consequences of it. When this kind of bullying gets out of hand, it's known as cyberbullicide, and that's when cyberbullied victims commit suicide. And this may seem like it doesn't happen very often or it's rare cases, but this statistic shows that cyberbullied females are 3.2 times more likely to commit suicide than females who are not cyberbullied. And males, it goes all the way up to 4.5 times more likely. And in 2010, a college student at Rutgers University was engaging in some homosexual relations, and his roommate thought it would be really funny to videotape him and put it on the internet. And that student was so embarrassed and became so depressed that he jumped off the George Washington Bridge. A 15-year-old high school freshman suffered 3 months of torment and stalking over the internet. And she was stalked so hard that she was found and raped. And that female was so distraught that she committed suicide. In 2009, Carl ended his life after receiving constant anti-gay remarks over the internet, and he was 11. So this just shows how broad cyberbullying is. It's not just for high schoolers like a lot of people would think, but it goes from elementary school all the way up through college. And ways that people react to being cyberbullied is they engage in binge drinking, marijuana use, depression, and then suicide, which is cyberbullicide. So as a future classroom teacher, this is not okay. This is not okay as a future parent. This needs to be stopped, and it's really heartbreaking. And so the Always Bullying Prevention Program was recommended by Brown University, and it's a program where they take away all of the rewards and all of the opportunities for bullies, because they're showing them what you're doing is not okay. This needs to be stopped. And if they continue giving them awesome opportunities like every other student, they're going to go on bullying people because they think, well, I'm not suffering any consequences. I can do everything that every other student can do, so what's the point? And then 3 ways that we are helping to end cyberbullying is, one is legislation, and there are several states that have already passed legislation to make cyberbullying actually illegal. The first one is North Carolina, and they have House Bill 1261, which is also known as Protect Our Kids /cyberbullying legislation, and that prohibits any form of cyberbullying. And if this legislation is broken, it's punished by a Class 1 or a Class 2 misdemeanor depending on the age of the perpetrator. Tennessee and New Jersey both have similar pieces of legislation where they'll say which policies and stuff that have to go into the legislation, but the specifics are up to the administration of each school district or throughout the state. Curriculum. I believe, after all my research, I believe that the best way to end cyberbullying is to make people aware of it. People don't know that it goes on. A lot of students don't know that what's happening to them is actually bullying. They just think that, oh, somebody's being mean to them, it's fine, but it's not fine. And I believe that parents and teachers, administrators all need to be educated on the topic, and they need to teach it in their schools. And Common Sense Media is a website for educators, and they have already prepared lesson plans that help teachers to teach cyberbullying in the classroom, because I know it can be a really touchy subject, but they allow the students to watch a video and then break in groups and decide what they would do in the situation. The video would be something about somebody being cyberbullied, and the students have to come up with a plan. What are we going to do? How are we going to help this person? Who can we report to? So that they actually have that experience in case it happens to them, it happens to a friend, they know what to do. And the Hazelden programs. Hazelden is a substance abuse treatment center, and they offer 2 programs for cyberbullying. And they're very similar programs, but one is specific for upper elementary and one is specific for lower elementary. And it's not just a one-time program, they're over the course of several weeks. And for upper elementary, they focus on social media, and their ending project for the program is they actually have to create a social media website, which they're not actually doing, but, and they have to make sure that the website has outlets for students who are being bullied. They have ways to report bullying and things like that so that they can get the help that they need. And internet safety is definitely important to teach in the classroom. It's not just something that you can leave up to the parents to teach, because not all students have computers in their classrooms or have computers in their homes, and so there's no need for them to learn that at home. So it's up to educators to teach this to their students, what's okay to do online, what's not okay to do online, because they honestly may not even know that what they're doing is wrong. And the last part is technology, and it might seem weird that we're using technology to help cyberbullying when it could be the cause of cyberbullying. But Facebook, I don't know, many of you probably don't know, I didn't know until I did my research, there's actually an option on Facebook where you can type in the search bar, get help, and then there's bullets on the left-hand side, and you can hit report abuse. And then it lists questions, whether you're the parent or you're the student. It asks you questions about, if you're the parent, is your student acting this way? Is your child doing this? And you click on it and it tells you how to get help. If you're the student, it asks, is this for your friend? Is this for you? What kind of things are happening? And you click on the one that applies to you and it tells you how to get help. Also, there are a lot of smartphone applications that are available now. Many of them are for parents to track their children's cell phones. And they can record certain keywords, problematic keywords that get sent or received to your child's phone, letting you know that they're in danger or that they're about to cause danger on somebody else. And a lot of parents don't want to think that their child is the bully, but they need to come to terms that bullies don't come out of nowhere. And I don't know if any of the parents in here have any of this for your phones, but I highly recommend it. It also has, some of the applications have panic buttons. So if you get a problematic alert from your child's phone and it's a threat, you can hit the panic button and it'll automatically call the police and send a police car to the location of your cell phone. And if your child is not with you, you can then tell them where they need to go. So I believe that by combining all of these different, the legislation, the school curriculum, and the technology, that we can educate others on how to get help if cyberbullying is occurring. And by doing that, I believe that we can end cyberbullying. So does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Thank you.